I think the requirement is 1 meter. So here, don't look at these boards because obviously the board or your scratch zone will be closer to the pit.
How far is that from?
That, I think, from the ones that I've volunteered at, they usually try to keep it pretty much as close as they can.
It's that meter.
It's 1 meter away. Yeah.
I think that's why. Yeah.
So if they're less, they'll struggle to actually even get into the pit. So okay, I'm gonna abide by some instructions. I'm just gonna show you a long jump first, and I will break it down after I do it once. I'll do it half speed, and I'll go off the boards. I'll just show you one. Okay, so that's long jump. Here's an easy way that you can help your athlete. One, avoid scratching, which can be a big issue, and that's by preparation before the event. Okay, so if this was my mark, my board, I can't get over this, or I scratch. So this zone is in here. If my foot, any part of my foot goes over this part, there's a scratch and it's a no jump. What I can do to help avoiding that is set steps to set a mark for where I'm going to start off running. Okay? So depending on the ability of the athlete, have them face the other way, and they give the athletes time before to do practice runs.
We'll have chalk at the event to where you can write your name and the line they start from.
And they have chalk because I'll start here, and you can tell your athlete, start running this way. So they'll start running. After a certain amount, you can set a number of steps. Chalk, I can now mark it. Name, their initials, and now they know I start right here. And if they run at the same pace that they did in the run through, they should avoid scratching. It's not a perfect science. There's college athletes that scratch 5 times because they cannot get their steps correct. But this will help alleviate some of that pressure that comes from scratching. Okay? It's something quick and easy, and it's one thing too if they have a buddy at the event with them that can count the steps, or if a coach is there, the volunteers were there as well. All they have to do is count a certain amount of steps. On the approach, avoid having to start at the end of the runway. Your athletes are really tired by the time they get there. They're not going to be able to jump very far. So as a volunteer, as a coach, try to, I guess, mark off in your mind, maybe 15 steps is really good for that athlete. Some athletes may be at 8 steps. It totally depends. Okay? If we get into technique, once we're jumping, the biggest thing that I can tell you about this is athletes love to force their feet to the ground as soon as they know they're in the pit. What I mean by that is, if I start here and I'm jumping into the pit, they love to do this. Okay? Makes sense? Like I said, we have college athletes do the same thing. The biggest coaching point I'll tell you is you need to tell your athlete to try to hold their feet in the air as long as they can. As long as they can. So if they're holding their feet in the air, instead of pushing down, they're going to get a longer jump. Okay? They're going to get a longer jump. Other than that, as far as technique goes, like I said, make sure that their feet, they're not force them into the ground as fast as they can. That's a shorter distance. Also, they need to leave the pit. So this is a long pit. So this is why this is hard to teach athletes to do. But technically, you're supposed to leave the pit on the front. The reason being, you just don't want an athlete that turns like this and starts walking back, and there can be a collision. Now, usually that won't happen. The person that's marking will usually stop that from happening, but they should technically exit at the front or the back side of the pit. Okay? Are there any questions about anything?